Sioux City Community Schools Board of Directors has announced the finalists for district superintendent. The three finalists are Dr. Tim Miller, who most recently served as executive director of the Uvalde Moving Forward Foundation in Uvalde, Texas. Dr. Will Pickens, the third, who serves as deputy chief of schools for the Chicago Public Schools in Chicago, Illinois. And Jim Vanderloo, who serves as interim superintendent and director of secondary education and activities for the Sioux City Community School District. The next step, well, these candidates will take part in community tours and in-person interviews with the board in the next few weeks. The Sioux City Community Schools Board of Directors spent 2 days this week interviewing candidates for the district superintendent. This follows the resignation of Dr. Juan Cordova, which came March 31st after more than 4 months on paid administrative leave. The school district received 10 applications for the job.
Among those finalists, as Jess said, the man serving as the district's interim superintendent, Jim Vanderloo. I sat down with Vanderloo this week and asked him why he wants to lead the Sioux City Community Schools. Since Dr. Paul Gosman's departure as superintendent in the summer of 2022, the district has had 2 superintendents in that short period of time, one lasting just 9 months. You're now the interim superintendent. Do you want the job on a permanent basis?
Yeah, I absolutely want the job. This community means a lot to me, my family, my grandkids, my kids. This is something that, 20 years ago wasn't something I aspired to do, but 35 years in the district and all the different positions I've held, I believe I'm the right person for the position. I believe I can help move this district forward. I have walked through many, many challenges, and I've built many, many relationships. And I think with those relationships and time served in the district, I think I'm the right person for the job.